Hello, I'm the Progressive Disciple, and I am going on a journey through the Bible, and I'm inviting you to join me. Today, we are continuing our study of Revelations, chapters 10 through 14. So let's begin. If you recall in the previous video, the slain lamb had opened the 7 seals, and 6 of the 7 trumpets from the 7 angels were sounded. So we will continue with chapter 10. A mighty angel comes down from heaven. He lands with 1 foot on the land and 1 foot in the sea. As it says in Revelation chapter 10, verses 8 through 11. Then the voice I heard from heaven spoke to me once more. Go, take the scroll that lies open in the hand of the angels who is standing on the sea and on the land. So I went to the angel and asked him to give me the little scroll. He said to me, take it and eat it. It will turn your stomach sour, but in your mouth it will be sweet as honey. So I took the little scroll from the angel's hand and ate it. It tasted as sweet as honey in my mouth, but when I had eaten it, my stomach turned sour. Then I was told, you must prophesy again about the many peoples, nations, languages, and kings. So eating the scroll gives John the ability to prophesy. God's will being accomplished is sweet, but the bitterness is due to the hard times that he will predict. John is told to measure the temple of God. And as he is doing this, 2 witnesses are sent for 3.5 years. The beast comes from the abyss and destroys them, but 3.5 days later, they are resurrected and rise to heaven. As it says in Revelations chapter 11, verses 7 through 12. Now, when they have finished their testimony, the beast that came up from the abyss will attack them and overpower and kill them. Their bodies will lie in the public square of the great city, which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, where also the Lord was crucified. For 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, and language and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial. The inhabitants of the earth will gloat over them and will celebrate by sending each other's gift, because these 2 prophets that tormented those who lived on the earth. But after 3.5 days, the breath of life from God will enter them, and they stood at the feet, and terror struck those who saw them. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, come up here. And they went up to heaven in a cloud, while their enemies looked on. I see a strong parallel with Jesus in these verses. Some see this prophecy as the work of the church and the persecution that it faces. Others will see this as a future event that occurs in the time of the Antichrist. The 7th trumpet is blown to begin the 3rd woe. 7 angels and the 24 elders start to worship God. A woman in heaven was pregnant and was about to give birth. There was also a dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, and he was going to devour the child. The woman gave birth to the child who will rule all the nations, and he was snatched up to God. The woman fled to a safe place. Then war broke out in heaven, and the dragon lost and was thrown to the earth. As it says in Revelations chapter 12, verses 10 through 12. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, now have come the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brothers and sisters, who accused them before our God day and night, has been hurled down. They trumpeted over him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. They did not love their lives as much as to shrink from the earth. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, you who dwell in them. But woe to the earth and to the sea, because the devil has gone down to you. He is filled with fury, because he knows that his time is short. The dragon tries to get to the woman, but she escapes, so the dragon goes to war against her offspring. There are many interpretations of this. Some see the woman of the Apocalypse as Mary, the mother of Jesus. Some see this as a representation of the church. The beast came out of the sea, with 7 heads and 10 horns. The dragon gave his power to the beast, and the people worship the dragon and the beast, and the beast goes to war with the people of God. A second beast comes from the earth, with 2 horns, and was given authority of the first beast. He performed miracles and forced everyone to worship the first beast. As it says in Revelations, chapter 13, verses 16 through 18. It also forced all people, great, small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand and their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast, or the number of the name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man. The number is 666. The first beast is described as having features of a leopard, lion, and bear, which are the 3 animals in Daniel 7. It is also known as the Antichrist. The second beast, the one that came from the land, is known as the false prophet. So what does this all mean? Some believe that the beast of the sea refers to Nero, with the 7 heads referring to the 7 hills of Rome, and the earthly beast may refer to the Roman imperial cult. Another belief is that the beast and the false prophet refers to the papacy or Mohammed. Others still see this as a kingdom that will arise that will oppose God. Others see this as an allegory for future leaders that go against God. The Lamb was standing on Mount Zion, along with the 144,000 who had been redeemed, and they sang a new song, and only those could learn this song. There were 3 angels. The first proclaimed the gospel. The second said, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great." The third declaring that punishment will be sent to those that worship the beast. Then the earthly harvest by Christ and his angels began. As it says in Revelations, chapter 14, verses 14 through 16. I looked, and there before me was a white cloud, and seated at the cloud was one like the Son of Man, with a crown of gold on his head, and a sharp sickle in his hand. And then another angel came out of the temple, and calling in a loud voice to him who was seated on the cloud, "Take your sickle and reap, because the time to reap has come, for the harvest of the earth is ripe." So he who was seated on the cloud swung his sickle over the earth, and the earth was harvested. So what does this mean to me? First, it is important to remain faithful in God. It also means that when the world and the nations turn away from Christianity, that our belief will not die out. There may be hard times ahead, but we can make it through with God's help. So this is my study of Revelations chapter 10 through 14. Please comment, subscribe, and like this video. I am the Progressive Disciple, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.